All right, five. Heather, are we waiting for Craig?
No.
No? Okay.
We're good.
All right, we'll call the March 4th, 2025 meeting of the City of Winter Haven Planning Commission to order. Jordan, if you would, please take roll.
Kevin Tyson, Mario Manigo, Bob Lanford,
Here.
Lorena Cordero, Wendy Venters,
Here.
Colin Wells,
Here.
Ed Smith,
Here.
Tina Summerlin, here, and Craig Fuller. We have a quorum.
If you would, please stand for the invocation and pledge. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the City of Winter Haven and her citizens. We ask that you be with us and help guide us in our decisions. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Have commissioners had an opportunity to review the previous minutes? If so, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last time.
All right. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Minutes are approved. Okay. I will move into a brief explanation of how the hearing will go. Cases will be read into the record. City staff will provide a presentation, at which time commissioners will have an opportunity to ask questions of staff. Once commissioners have had an opportunity to ask their questions, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against a case may do so, starting with the applicant. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes. Once everybody from the public has had an opportunity to speak, we will close the public portion of the hearing and reopen the planning portion of the hearing, at which time we can ask additional questions or we'll entertain a motion and a vote. Anybody here that thinks you may or may not speak for or against a case, if you would, please stand and Jordan will swear you in.
Before we do that, Chair, can I get a second of who seconded the minutes?
There you go.
Thank you.
Let's see.
We all missed it.
I didn't get it either.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case shall be the truth?
Thank you, Jordan. Okay, all right, moving on to new business. Case number P-25-11 and P-25-12. Request by PTP Real Estate Enterprises, LLC, to assign neighborhood support future land use to an annexed parcel and to assign commercial highway C3 zoning district to the same annexed parcel. General location, 75 Sage Road. The area covered by this request is 8.64 plus or minus acres.
All right, Heather Reuter, Senior Planner for the record. Before you on the screen is the future land use map. The subject property there is in the black and white hatch. All of that that's in white is surrounding as an unincorporated Polk County. The city designations that we have there to the east are neighborhood support, which is also what's being requested for this property, as well as neighborhood suburban for the Inman Grove subdivision. As you look at the zoning, is R2 for the single family. That PUD that's on there allows for C3 uses, which is the zoning district that is being asked for this property. You look at the aerial, again, is a vacant location there at the corner of Dundee Road and Sage Road. We'll go into some photos. This is looking to the north at the subject property. This is, oh, sorry, that's not to the north, that's to the west. I got it disoriented. This is to the north looking down past Sage Road. There's some single family properties to the north there in the unincorporated area. As you look to the east, the Inman Grove subdivision. This is also at the east. There's a convenience store gas station at the corner. And this is looking to the south. Again, is that at that major intersection with Sage Road, Carl Floyd Road, Dundee Road. And then there's commercial to the west with a Pinch a Penny, and immediately adjacent is a mobile food vending operation. PTP Real Estate Enterprises LLC is the petitioner, and they request the city assign neighborhood support future land use and commercial highway C3 zoning district to an annexed parcel. The parcel totals 8.64 acres and is generally located at 75 Sage Road. The parcel was annexed into the city November 25th, 2024, and the petitioner intends to develop the property with a medical office. As these requests contain a small-scale future land use amendment, review by Florida Commerce and other state and local agencies is not required. There is sufficient infrastructure capacity to support these requests. However, final concurrency determination shall be made at the time the property receives site plan approval and is developed. Additionally, when C3 development standards, on-site parking requirements, and stormwater requirements are applied to the property, the actual maximum square footage would likely be less than the maximum potential square footage, as would the impact. Prior to annexation, this property was designated in Polk County as Business Park Center 2. The requested neighborhood support future land use is consistent with the property's location as well as city designations in the area. Staff's review of the request yields the following. Again, that neighborhood support future land use in C3 zoning district is consistent with the property's location along an arterial highway corridor and with developed uses and city designations in the area, and there is sufficient public infrastructure capacity to accommodate the maximum theoretical development under C3. Therefore, staff does recommend that the Planning Commission recommend approval of these items and their forwarding to the City Commission for final action. I stand for any questions that you may have.
Any questions? No? All right, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone from the public wishing to speak for or against this case? If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Kendall Phillips, 205 Century Boulevard, Marte. I represent BGP Real Estate Enterprises and really have nothing to add to Heather's presentation, but I'm the engineer for the project and be happy to answer your questions you might have.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? If you would, Jordan, I think we need to swear him in. I think Jordan needs to swear you in.
Right here. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case shall be the truth?
And if you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, 428 Chance Avenue, Byron Cobb. I like the area shot that they gave, but to me, why didn't they show the entrance of the place, which would be the same entrance to our house? Why didn't you take a shot of the entrance from us instead of just showing the long shot? Because I like the idea that it's going to be a medical center. But what else? They only said medical center. Is the total thing going to be a medical center? Or they're going to have nail shop or smoke shops or what else in there? I mean, you got to look at the whole overall picture. And you're not going to let them use the medical plan to say, oh, it's just going to be a medical building. Smoke shops and liquor shops is unacceptable. So if you want to, let them build in your neighborhood. We don't want it there. Now, if it's just going to be a medical building totally, I'm all for it. So what else is going to be in there for that building? That's what we want to know. Because when you guys send us this mail out, you never specify what's going to be there. Only a building. What kind of building? Warehouse or what? But now we know it's going to be a medical building. But what else is in that plan for this property?
Yeah.
Can any of you guys tell me?
So I think we're starting with the zoning because the property was annexed into the city of Winter Haven. Heather probably has some more information.
So it was annexed into the city. At that time, we have to put on city designations because it now is in our jurisdiction. The request is to assign C3 zoning. So any use that is permitted in the table of land use in the C3 zoning district would be permitted. The petitioner has indicated in their application they intend to develop it as a medical center, but once C3 is assigned, they could do anything that's located in that zoning district.
That's exactly what I thought.
And that's because we're not going to do something that specifically locks it into one certain use. Zoning districts allow for a wide array of uses. And again, prior when it was in the county, it was Business Park Center, which is a very intense, almost heavy commercial industrial type land use. So that could have been developed with this. C3 is actually less intense than what was allowed in the county.
Okay, I appreciate that. But I'm looking at the entrance right here. The entrance to our house is right you can say it as well as I can. But my point is that once you zone it as a medical building, you can put anything you want there, right? Is that what you, in essence, that's what you're saying. So my point is, where is the entrance to this particular project's gonna be? Is it gonna be where our entrance to our house, to the entrance, or you don't know that?
Yeah, we don't know. That is not at this point. We're at
Okay.
the level now that zoning puts on there. That comes in the site plan process. Dundee Road is a state road. Sage Road is a county road. They would be the ones that would grant the access and permit that.
Okay, because we already have a problem coming out of our property, and they got the lights messed up because they don't give us a yellow, a light to make a left turn on red when nothing's coming, and we can't even get out of the area. Now this is going to be even more difficult. So I'm just letting you know that the changes that they're going to make for this year, changes need to be another change, especially for the entrance. That's my main concern. We don't want to. We all, there's about 15, 20 of us. When I first moved in here, we talked about putting up a private gate. Then the city said, oh, well, we won't be responsible for the roads and lights. You guys have to pay for it. So I know a little about this here because I was on the committee. If I'm over my time, tell me and I'll stop.
You're
Okay,
okay.
I'm just saying because I see you whistling. I can see, I know. Anyway.
No,
but-
he was just asking to clarify that they're city public streets and not private streets. That's, he was asking for clarification.
That's
to
fine.
us.
No, my apologies, sir. But I get into this here because I was born and raised right there in Lake Hamilton, and I left here, and I'm used to the politics in San Francisco because I just came back home after 58, 9 years. So I know how this works, but I don't want to do it. They even asked me to be on the board at my house. I said no, because I'm a type of person, I don't take no for an answer, and I get stuff done. So, and I don't want to make enemies. But anyway, getting back to this here, so I hope we can clarify where the interest is going to be. And that's my main concern. So maybe you guys can send us out this gentleman right here on the project can let us know where the interest is going to be. But that's my only concern, is a liquor shop and a smoke shop. That's my only concern. That cause chaos and problems.
Yeah, just,
Thank you.
Sure. I appreciate your comments. When we go through the site plan review process, when the applicant actually is ready to develop something, they submit a site plan to us. That is public record once they submit it to us. And so, if you periodically check back with city staff, and we can give you contact information as soon as we receive a site plan, and we don't know when that would be. It could be, next week. It could be 4 years from now. We don't know.
Okay.
But when we receive that, it's public record, and we can provide that to you.
Okay, well, you can just call me personally. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your comments.
I appreciate you listening to me, and I may step over bounds a little, but I'm very concerned about the neighborhood because my mother's neighborhood, when I grew up in 1973, was just like that neighborhood. And now it's trash because what they built in it and what happened. So I didn't come back from California to live that life again. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Understood. Thank you for your comments. Anyone else in the public? No? All right, we will close the public portion of the hearing and reopen the planning portion of the hearing. Any additional comments or questions? No? All right, I will make a motion in favor of case number P-25-11 and P-25-12, request by PTP Real Estate Enterprises LLC to assign neighborhood support future land use to an annex parcel and to assign commercial highway C3 zoning district to the same annex parcel. General location 75 Sage Road. The area covered by this request is 8.64 plus or minus acres as presented in the fact sheet.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, case is approved. Moving on to case number P-25-14, an administrative request to amend the 2035 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan by amending the future land use element, transportation element, and the transportation map series to reflect potential alignments for the proposed Central Polk Parkway East.
Okay, I'm going to present this item. This is kind of a small change to the comp plan. And I'll just go through some background here and then kind of give a little description of the objective. While the comprehensive plan's text is not intended to be revised on a recurring basis, text does periodically require amendments to address issues which arise from time to time. These proposed amendments to the future land use and transportation elements are designed to help secure and preserve future corridors necessary for the construction of future transportation projects necessary to support growth occurring in the city and surrounding communities. The revisions to the future land use objective 1.7 will add policy 1.7.3, requires the city to consider future transportation corridors or amending the future land use map. Revisions to transportation objective 1.8 will add language supporting Florida Department of Transportation's efforts to establish a corridor for the proposed Central Polk Parkway East. Revisions to the transportation and map series are needed to reflect potential corridors under consideration as part of FDOT's alternative corridor evaluation study for the Central Polk Parkway East. Having this future roadway depicted on the map series will support efforts to select the final corridor and ultimately secure rights of way needed for construction. Kind of give you a little background, Central Polk Parkway impacts a very small piece of the city at the very extreme southeastern corner of the city down on Old Bartow Lake Wales Road. The study, and I believe it's in your packet that was uploaded, kind of shows the area of study. There's 4 potential routes that they're looking to basically cross US 27 south of Eagle Ridge Mall and then kind of head southwesterly towards State Road 60. There's a small little area they can kind of cross through the city limits of Winter Haven that's undeveloped right now. It's a pretty big parcel that's still available. However, if we reflect this in our comprehensive plan, this potential corridor, it does give us some ability to work with whoever would maybe develop that parcel in the future to preserve some kind of 200 to 300 foot wide path through there to fit the road. Ultimately, what this will do is the hope is it would connect 60 closer to the ILC out there and try to get some of the semi trucks off of the local streets and get them more directly to I-4 and other points. The future land use policy is kind of looking at it more holistically. We should be looking at this on any significant roadway project that could come into the city. We always need to be mindful of those future corridors going forward. So that's kind of the idea of putting a policy in the future land use element. So that does conclude my presentation, and staff does recommend approval of this request as forwarding to the city commission for action.
Is only one of those routes come over?
Only one of them will.
Yeah.
I mean, all 4 of them ultimately could potentially come through.
Yeah.
But there's 4, they call them corridors,
Right.
but it's only going to be one that ultimately gets developed.
Gotcha. Any other questions, commissioners? No? All right, we will close the planning portion of the hearing and open the public portion of the hearing. Anyone from the public wishing to speak for or against this case? No. All right, seeing none, we will close the public portion and reopen the planning portion of the hearing. Any additional questions? No?
I'll make a motion to approve case number P-25-14, administrative request to amend the 2035 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan by amending the future land use element, transportation element, and the transportation map series to reflect potential alignments for the proposed Central Polk Parkway East as presented in the fact sheet.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, case is approved. Other business, comments from staff.
I don't have anything to add this evening, so.
Okay. Comments from commissioners? No? All right. Comments from the public? Anyone? All right. We are adjourned.
Geez.